This review is brought to you by Hey, remember that anime called Baki the Grappler? Well, did you know that it's still ongoing? Originally, the series ended in 2012 with Part 3, Baki Son of Ogre, aka Hanma Baki. But for whatever reason, the author Keisuke Itakaki decided to revive his MMA manga with Baki Do, or Baki's Path, or Baki's Way, or Way of Baki, or whatever. This manga began in 2014 and is still going, so this review will eventually be outdated. I'll be focusing on the first 100 or so chapters. For the record, this is not a licensed product, so you may see some rough translations or lack of consistency in chapter updates. Will Baki the Grappler ever be licensed? Well, there's supposed to be some big news at the end of September, and a short original anime disc released in December, so when that time comes, you should see more accurate details in the description. But for now, let's find out what's going on in Baki Part 4, Baki's Path. Usually when a series goes on for so long, it tends to lose its charm, or finds itself struggling to be engaging, especially in series involving comedy or battles. In this case, Baki Son of Ogre concluded with a battle between Baki and Yujiro, a match people wanted to see since the first series. With that fight reaching the highest point of the story, what can we do now? Interestingly, as if poking fun at itself, the characters of the series are incredibly bored. After witnessing that fight, nothing has excited them. So for the first couple of chapters, you just see characters trying to rid themselves of boredom. Another effect of that fight is Yujiro not being feared as much before. It's gotten to the point where people see Yujiro as a cool guy and ask for his autograph. Yujiro hates this treatment, meanwhile his son Baki has become bored just like anyone else. However, this tranquility is shattered via scientific experiments involving cloning. Tokugawa's life is going to expire, but before he kicks the bucket, he wants to see a stupendous fight, so he decides to make a clone of Japan's greatest swordsman, Miyamoto Musashi. Miyamoto's appearance in this 21st century certainly raises the interest of all the Baki characters, who naturally want to challenge him. However, this is where it leads to some contradictory statements. Miyamoto is a swordsman and everyone's okay with him to fight with a sword. But wait a minute, what did the author say in Part 2, New Grappler Baki? In a certain arc, these escaped convicts would battle with weapons, while the Baki cast would be against this, yet they will allow weapons if it was used on the spot, like a piece of the arena. Basically, they don't come in with the weapon on hand, but use what's available in their surroundings. The whole point is Baki characters tend to fight mano a mano, and see those who use weapons as weak. Now the boot is on the other foot, as Miyamoto is a master swordsman who sees martial arts unsuitable for war. In several chapters of Baki material, there was always a recurring theme of putting people down who aren't real fighters. There's Yujiro, who believes the martial artist fights to the death. Then there's everyone else who says boxing isn't a fighting style. In other words, despite the difficulty in training to reach a physical prime, in their viewpoint, anything outside of martial arts is considered invalid. But what about now? Do characters realize their mistakes in judgment for now being the ones who are insulted and beaten? What does this say about the author? Is using weapons now okay as a means of perfecting your body or as a form of challenge? I don't know, and we'll probably never will. I should also note that his interpretation of Musashi isn't accurate, as this character is obsessed with glory. So the author is once again beating people down to make Japan look better, which is odd, as Miyamoto should instead be treated with more respect since he's Japanese. Before Part 4, the author would insult America and China, but why make a fool of his own countrymen? The world may never know. The tone of the manga is similar to Baki Son of Ogre, specifically the Pickle arc. There are some chapters where Miyamoto is gazing in wonder of modern society, as technology and customs have vastly changed since his death. But like Baki Son of Ogre, the pacing is pretty slow. It took a good 20-some chapters for conflict or action to start. Currently, the series has managed to display a good number of fights, but there is one character can be either the greatest change or the worst idea ever. Remember that guy named Motobe who got his ass beat by Yujiro and never really did anything since then? There was one time where he cut down some dude in new Grappler Baki, but sort of faded to the background very quickly. Well, the point is, now, he's a badass. Just because he can fight with weapons like a ninja. Here's the thing that makes me worry for the quality of this manga. Is this bullshit? Or a great element of surprise? Motobe is now fighting on par with a lot of big-time characters when before, hardly anyone remembered who the heck he was. Fans even developed a nickname for him being Meme Tobe, mostly because of this one scene where he says, "Yujiro, I will protect you." Even Yujiro has the right reaction. What is going on here? Basically, depending what Meme Tobe or Musashi does, will determine whether this is a good manga or not. The last thing I read is Miyamoto challenging Pickle for a fight, but aside from a few battles that could possibly be filled with BS, there isn't much to this series. But then again, I don't think it ever tries to be greater than what we see on face value. In comparison to the other Baki parts, it's still too early to know if this is a good sequel or if the series should have ended with part 3. I'm the Anime Hero and I review manga so you can read it.